Hello, I'm Scott Markus with American Ghost Walks Hollywood, standing in front of a very unique building in the southern part of downtown LA. This was the first spiritualist temple, first built in 1911, and that in and of itself makes it a unique building. And also, this is where Harry Houdini had his only ever paranormal experience. As we know later in life, he really made a debunking psychics and mediums and all that kind of stuff part of his show, that he would really expose frauds and was a big fan of doing that. At one point in time when Houdini was coming through Los Angeles, there was a news story about this church where one of the members of the church foretold of her death, saying that she was going to die on this certain date, even though she was in good health at the time, and that and to please take a photo during her funeral, because if she could come back, she would make her presence known. And then surprisingly, she actually did pass away as predicted. Her funeral was held, a photo was taken, and sure enough, a face seemed to appear in some of the tapestry near the casket. Now, Houdini came out, he wanted to debunk this. So he had a bunch of journalists with him. They went out and they bought all of the film together, all the negatives together, and he tried to replicate the photo, to have the light hitting everything at the same time of day, all that kind of stuff, and to prove that this was just a trick of the eye, that this was not a paranormal event, it was the way that the fabric was reflecting light. However, in the process of taking photos, something else came across on one of his photos, a streak of light that shot up from the ground. Wasn't visible to the human eye, but it did appear in his negatives. Some people do wonder, this is a magician, was he pulling some sort of a trick? Well, for a guy that was really trying to maintain a lot of integrity and prove that this kind of stuff doesn't exist, the fact that he would say, this is my one and only real paranormal experience, to me, it doesn't stand up. So again, this location on the south side of downtown Los Angeles, the first spiritualist temple of Los Angeles, the only place where Harry Houdini claims to have had a paranormal experience and actually captured some evidence of it. There's only a tiny bit of evidence left behind. That is even what this building started out as. Now it's a Christian church. There is a panel over here that's been painted over and over and over, so you can barely see it anymore, but very faintly it still does read First Spiritualist Temple, downtown of Los Angeles, 1911, and then added on in 1920 something as well. But yeah, this is a very unique part and forgotten part of downtown Los Angeles history.